This is a short video about breathing, and it was inspired by some of my running clients that always feel like they're struggling to breathe when they're running. As a bit of a health warning, if you do suffer from shortness of breath in your everyday activities, or if you have diagnosed conditions, then do make sure you see a medical practitioner to get checked out and make sure that there's nothing else you should be doing. But for runners and other people doing exercise, whether you're starting off or you've been exercising for a while, then shortness of breath is something that we all get used to, and it is a perfectly normal thing to happen. So if you're just starting running, maybe over the last few months you've been doing your couch to 5k, it's perfectly normal to be out of breath. It just shows that your body's working and it needs to improve its systems to get oxygen to the right places to be able to help you fuel your muscles and be able to run better. So we always suffer from shortness of breath in running. When you push yourself a bit harder, your breathing system and your energy systems need to change and need to catch up with that, and we need to train those systems as much as we do our muscles. So what can you do to help? So I think when we are talking about breathing, we need to remember, as always, that our body is three-dimensional, so that when we breathe in and our body expands in all directions. And if we think mainly about our rib cage, we also need to consider that the muscles at the top of our rib cage fixing onto our shoulders and at the bottom of our rib cage are all involved. So you need to make sure that you have a fairly upright posture to give maximum expansion for our rib cage, for our lungs, supported and protected by our ribs, to be able to get as much oxygen in as you can. So one easy thing to do is really just to think about our breathing. Mostly it's something we do without thinking about, which is a really good thing, but sometimes we can help train our body a bit better to make sure that we are breathing in to use all of our lungs and get as much air and oxygen in as we can. So if you take a deep breath in, put your hand on your belly button, and make sure that that is expanding out. Quite often we breathe only at the top of our lungs, so the top of our chest will rise and expand. But take a few moments and a few big breaths to really make sure that your belly is expanding when you breathe in.